As the title says, in this video I'm going to show you 12 really cheap, good value accessories for your photography. It's going to improve your work. It's very basic stuff, but it makes a huge difference to the results that you'll get. The first one you may have already seen in some of my videos. It's the Pringle Tube. Simply a tube that had Pringles in it. I've painted this one black so it looks more professional, but the Pringle Tube fits over the front of my Yongnuo flash quite easily after I've cut the end off, and it allows me to give a spotlight effect with this flash. I can spotlight my subject, I can spotlight my background, I can do a range of different effects. I can put a gel inside here to give me a small pool of colour on my background. It's an amazing tool, and it costs about $3.50 for a packet of Pringles. You get a terrific lighting accessory and you get to eat the Pringles as well. Years ago, I don't know how it happened, but Mr. Pringle and Mr. Yongnuo must have gotten together and made sure that their products were compatible. You may have a different brand of flash. You just need to buy a tube or find a tube that's going to fit your particular flash, or just modify it so it does. You can see this image here of the ballet dancer. I used 2 speed lights with the Pringle tubes on them in the background to backlight that powder that we used. Now, backlighting the powder is something that's going to highlight the powder. It makes your shot look so much better. But if I had those speed lights aiming towards my camera, it would produce a fair amount of flare, which would make it difficult to get this shot. The Pringle tubes protected that light from hitting directly onto my lens, so they gave me much less flare, and it made it much easier to get this shot. The second cheap accessory, which is actually a little bit cheaper than the Pringle tube, is a piece of black card. The black card is really handy to keep in your camera bag for the times when you need it. You can use it for a multitude of different things, but what I generally do is I use it around my flash like this to control the light spill, the same as I do with the Pringle tube. I can secure it with a rubber band around here, and that gives me that control over this light so it's not going to spread so far. It's a little bit more spread than the Pringle tube, but I can also, if I need to, take this off and fold it in various different ways and use it to block off light from the side of my flash or the top of my flash. So if I've got an image like this that I want to keep the light away from that handrail on the right hand side, I can use my speed light. I can attach that black card to the side of the speed light, which will flag the light on that railing so that the light is more concentrated on our model, which is Maxine, and it doesn't light up that handrail as much. The third accessory is the rubber band. Rubber bands in your camera bag will be really valuable. You may not use them for a couple of years, but one day you're going to need one. I use my rubber bands to attach my black card. I also use it to attach gels to the front of my flash if I need to. I can also put triggers on top of my flash underneath my rubber band, or I can even put another flash on top of this one and run them both at the same time to give me twice the flash power. Find a rubber band that's going to be sturdy enough and the right size to give you the tension on your flash to do the job. The third thing I want to tell you about is plastic bags. Very cheap, very handy in your camera bag. They take up almost no space when they're folded up, but we can use them in the rain over our flash to protect our flash. We don't want rain to get into this while we're using it. If we're shooting in the rain like we are here, or we're shooting in water, if we're using hose or a rain apparatus to do some shots, we don't particularly want to get our flash wet. So we can just put a freezer bag over the top of our flash. We still get everything working fine. Our triggers, our radio signals still work fine, but our flashes are protected. I shoot a lot out in the surf because I do a lot of swimsuit shoots. So shooting in the surf, I don't want my flashes to get sprayed with salt water, so I just use a plastic bag over the top. You can use these freezer bags, which I prefer, or you can use a sealing type bag that will do that for you. You can't seal it fully, but at least you can seal it a little bit underneath to protect it from spray upwards. The other type of bag that I use, and I always keep in my camera bag, is a garbage bag. A full-size garbage bag. It folds up very small, just fits in the back pocket of my camera bag, but I know that if I get stuck in a rainstorm, I'm down on a beach or I'm at a location away from my car, if I get stuck in a rainstorm, I can put my camera bag or I can put my flash or my strobe inside here, tie it up at the top, and it's protected. I can get back to the car without worrying about my gear getting wet. So garbage bag is a really good idea to have. Another idea with a plastic bag is a shopping bag. I couldn't find one this afternoon, but a shopping bag with the handles on the top that you carry your groceries home in is a great thing to stick in your camera bag because you can use it as a sandbag. We don't particularly want to be carrying sandbags to and from our location because they're quite heavy. You can take a couple of those shopping bags, fill them up with sand or dirt or rocks from your location and tie them at the top and use them to steady your light stand. It helps in the wind, helps to stop your light stand falling over, but it's quite simple, doesn't take up any space in your camera bag. All of these bags just fit in the pocket in the back of my camera bag that I very rarely open, but I know they're there if I need them. The next accessory, which you could call a flash accessory or just a lighting accessory, is a foam core reflector. I get these foam core reflectors from my local hardware store. They cost almost nothing, almost nothing, maybe about $5 or so. I use this little bit of gaffer tape on the top with a hole cut in it so that I can place it over the top of my light stand. Anytime I need a reflector, I can just place it on that light stand in the studio or outdoors, raise up my light stand to whatever size I want, and I've got that reflector board there. If they get damaged, if they get dirty, I can just buy new ones, replace them quite easily, another $5 or so. You can see a few of these shots where I've used a reflector to bounce a bit of light back onto my subject. I can throw light into particular areas to lighten my subject or my background. I can also use it as a wafting board, just to create a little bit of breeze, to blow up a skirt as here, or to blow some hair. They're quite versatile reflectors, but it's handy if you've got an assistant there with you to help you out with this sort of stuff. The other side of the coin is a core flute flag. A flag is a black card or a black piece of material that protects a particular area from getting light. Again, I just picked these up from the hardware stores. They're not quite as solid or as stiff as the reflector boards, but they still work fine. I can cut them to any shape at all. I get them on very large sheets for about $15 or so. A piece of gaffer tape on the top with the hole cut in it, fits on top of my light stand, and I can place it wherever I want to block light from getting into particular areas. You can see some of these images that I've used my flag to block that light in particular areas. We can use it close to our subject or our background, or we can move it further back for a more subtle effect. It's up to you how you use it. But working with flags is a very inexpensive accessory, and you can, again, mold the light to suit your purposes, to create images that you want. The next accessory is coloured gels. Now, we can get coloured gels in a range of different sizes, of different colours and things. These are the ones that I use most often. I just purchased these off the internet. They come in a little pouch like this, about $15 or so, and you get anywhere between 50 and 80 depending on where you buy them from. They're just small coloured gels in this shape. They come with a little collar that fits over the front of your flash. So we put the collar on the front of the flash. We use these little tabs to pull out, and we can place our gel quite easily on the front of our flash. And that allows us to produce blue light, green light, orange light, yellow light, whatever you want. Look at these examples where I've used coloured gels on my speed lights. I've put them in behind our model's hair to give a little bit more colour in the hair. I've put it on the background for various different shots. There's a lot of ways that we can use these coloured gels in our photography. And $15 or so on a speed light, they work amazingly well. I can backlight smoke. I can backlight a model's hair, as I said. In this example, I taped with gaffer tape a flash up under Corey's helmet, welding helmet, with a yellow gel on it so that I could light his face through the welding glass. I had to turn that flash up fairly bright for it to register through that very thick neutral density of the welding glass, but it worked well. Doesn't look particularly attractive, but it worked. In these shots of Corey, I used a blue gel on the background, just to contrast with the warm orange sparks from the welder. It gives a little bit more punch to the sparks and makes the shot look that little bit more professional. As I said, I use gaffer tape on those shots of Corey to tape the flash into place. Gaffer tape is a great accessory that you should carry with you all the time. It's tape that doesn't leave any residue when you pull it off a surface, but it grips onto things really well. I use it to often tighten clothing on models, to pull in the waistline of a fabric, or sometimes to attach a fabric to the back of a model, as you can see with these shots of Krista. We can also use that gaffer tape to fix backgrounds, to attach lights to various different places, to tape up light stands so that they don't fall away from a wall. Now, rather than carry a big roll of gaffer tape in my camera bag, I learned this trick from a photographer years ago, and I simply put it around the leg of my tripod. I can just pull a bit of gaffer tape off whenever I need to, and it's always there for me. This has been on here for about 4 years or so. I've used a lot of it. I've replaced it from time to time, but it's always there if I need it. So stick it on the leg of your tripod, and it's always there when you need it. One accessory that we really need when we're using off-camera flash, particularly speed lights, is a cold shoe. A bracket that fits on the top of your light stand that will take your flash. It doesn't have any electronic contacts, that's why they're called a cold shoe, and you can get them in various different designs. You can get plastic ones, steel ones, various different things, ones that will hold modifiers as well. I've got a range of different ones that I've collected over the years. Some are almost antiques now, but the idea is that your speed light fits into the cold shoe, you tighten it up and you put it on top of your light stand. It's got adjustments on it that you can tilt your flash down or upwards. You can turn it around to the side. You can do various different things with it. But cold shoe is a great accessory. I've got probably half a dozen, and sometimes I use 2 or 3 in the one set. Whether I'm in the studio or whether I'm outdoors, they're really handy. You can see some shots here where I've used off-camera flash with my flash bracket, with my cold shoe, and I use a radio trigger to trigger my flash off camera. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on off-camera flash in the future, so you can stick around for those. But the cold shoe is an integral part of how we do off-camera flash. Another accessory that has come in really handy for me is a little tripod. A mini tripod like this, very cheap. I think I paid $15, $20 for this, with a phone bracket. You can buy these phone brackets at most electronic stores or phone stores. It has a 1/4-inch thread on it, a couple of 1/4-inch threads that you can attach your phone to. Now, this is very popular for my models. They can set it up somewhere in the studio or outdoors and film the shoot that they can use on their social media. They can film it in vertical format or horizontal, whatever they prefer, and that gives them a little bit of content for their socials as well, just to make the experience of shooting with me that little bit more rewarding for them. So, little phone brackets, about $15, $20, and the tripod's about the same, but they're very handy. Fit in your camera bag quite easily. One other accessory that helps when I'm shooting outdoors, particularly with off-camera flash and light stands, because light stands inevitably fall over at some stage. They either fail or the wind blows them over or somebody bumps them. I haven't got it with me here because I haven't used it for a little while, but I did make a very long stainless steel tent peg that if I'm shooting on the grass, doesn't help on concrete or bitumen, but if I'm shooting on the grass, I can push this into the ground with my foot over the top of the bottom of my light stand, and that helps to hold my light stand there. Now, the first thing you need to do is think of the wind direction. It's no good doing it on the downwind side of your light stand because it's still going to blow over. You need to do it on the upwind side of your light stand to prevent that light stand from falling over. It's not a fail-safe thing, but it's there if you need it. Again, it doesn't take up much space in your camera bag, doesn't cost much, but it can really save your bacon sometimes. Okay, so that's some really good accessories that you can use. There are a lot more that I use. I just discover them all the time. Sometimes I use these things all the time and I just don't think about it. but there's probably another 20 or 30. Various different accessories that I use, little tiny ones, homemade ones, things that make my shots look a little bit different. So I'm going to do a few more videos like this in the future. So stick around, subscribe, like the video. Any comments that you have, please put them below. If you've got some great accessories that are cheap but work well, stick them in the comments below. I'd love to see those, and I'd love to be able to use them the same as you do with mine. I'll see you next time.